last year, 2024, was the year of Sierra Ferrell when it comes to putting out an album that really grabbed everyone's attention and imagination. The album is Trail of Flowers. If you're an ardent listener of the channel, you've heard Dollar Bill Bar played many, many times. It's one of my favorite songs of last year. I still listen to it. I love the album Trail of Flowers. Songs like I Could Drive You Crazy, American Dreaming, and 4 Grammy Awards this year at the Grammys. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I wanted to speak to you. Remember I asked you, I said, this is a really once-in-a-lifetime moment to talk to you in this place that just doesn't get better. Yes, there's all these great challenges that come and there's ups and downs, but right now, putting out an album, having it be recognized the way it has, having this energy behind you and this energy within you, I thought it would be the perfect moment to kind of get the origin story and where you are and how you're looking forward to it, and also how you came to be, not just as a person, but as an artist. And I want to start, I suppose, with a quote that I thought of when I was thinking about you these last few days. And it's a quote by David Geffen. And I was watching this American Masters documentary on David Geffen. And I think the first thing he says to camera in the documentary is, I've always thought that each person invented himself, herself, that we are each a figment of our own imagination, and some people have a greater ability to imagine than others. And I bring that up because I feel like you have an unbelievable ability. And let's agree that inventing oneself is not inauthentic, but you seem to be very aware of the creation aesthetically, musically. I really want to understand how this quote unquote invention kind of came to be and how you coexist with that invention. Number one, I mean, I didn't know which Sierra, although you're kind of in between the two Sierra aesthetics. There's trucker hat on one end, and on the other end are these incredibly ornate, orchestrated architectural looks. And I would call this somewhere in the middle. Would you agree?
I would totally agree.
So I'm so influenced. I'm very inspired by you, and I want to sort of understand that whole tapestry of how you became who you are and how you live inside of those different parts of your art. And I guess the best place to start is I discovered you the way a lot of people discovered you, which was the Gems on VHS post on Instagram that went really, really viral, didn't it?
I hope I'm in your dreams the way you are in all of mine. You got a love so fine.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of my truest die-hard fans, they really crave that. They really crave the rawness. And I think honestly, the world is really, North America especially, is really just starving for rawness and realness.
Yep. And everyone's been issued an iPhone. Everyone has had these standard issue things, standard issue thoughts for so long. And I think that's why Americana is having a moment. But watching that video, I remember the melody. I remember the timbre of your voice. I was struck. I went, what the hell is this? I think that is a shared feeling by a lot of people who first heard you is, what is this? It is such the real deal. And I just remember, what is this? I just gave myself chills while I did that.
Well, it's definitely heaven sent. I'm more on the heaven side of things.
You are more on the heaven side, meaning you live less in logic and reason.
On the just more like I believe that words just have a lot of more strength than what we are led to believe because our tongues are wands, or magical wands.
Yours is.
We all are.
Yeah, mine is an old man's cane. Mine is an old walking stick. How did that change your life? Where were you living when that video came out about 3 years ago?
I was it's a little longer than that because I was definitely before the pandemic, and I was living in my van and kind of just trying to figure out what to do. I'm getting older. We're all getting older. Although I think that we probably shouldn't pay homage to birthdays and ages as much because maybe we wouldn't age as fast as we do.
Boy, those are bars because I am obsessed with time. I'm a time obsessive.
Yeah.
So Are you? But you're not. You are, and you try not to be.
I try not to be.
Yeah.
Because like we're all creatures of habit, and we are like a large portion of our surroundings, and we all just want to belong and fit. So therefore, in a lot of ways, we pick up these really nasty habits.
What were your surroundings in the day, the month of recording that video that went so viral?
Well, I just left New Orleans because I was living in Seattle a lot more, and I was busking. I was staying on Bainbridge Island and riding the ferries, and honestly just agate hunting a lot because I love rock hounding and just finding fossils. I still do that.
You were rock hunting?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love it. It's my favorite. I love like finding like stones from the earth. And so I went to New Orleans, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to New Orleans or I'm going to go to Nashville. And I went to New Orleans, and wow, I just, I never really fit in there. And therefore, and it was just like it was harder to make money there. And it's just like a little more harshness going on and just more temptations. And honestly, it's just, there's so much going on there. It's hard to really figure out what you want to do.
And you were making your money by busking.
Yes.
You weren't playing shows where you were billed to be playing in a club or a bar. You were just, where were you busking?
So there's a street called Royal Street, and there's this lady called Doreen who kind of like fought for that, and she plays clarinet, and she's always in front of rouses.
That's so New Orleans that everybody would just know Doreen. It's the only city in the country where people who are just named Doreen, who don't have a last name, everyone knows them, and they're local legends.
That's right.
Yeah, word up. Give it up to Doreen.
That's right. Let's do it. And so I was there, and it's like New Orleans is just so magical and has such a beautiful charm, and I could just feel the chaos in the air there, and I couldn't really stay grounded, and it was hard for me to find a groove to make money in an easier way. And then so I went to Nashville, and I was kind of like coming and going. I was transient a lot.
Busking in Nashville as well?
I did there before, but I was kind of just getting ready to not be busking. I was just, because energetically as a person, people just wear me out. They don't mean to. People just have a lot of baggage, and like they don't realize that we have magic.
Because you're empathetic and you take on everyone else's energy.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to wear it to understand it. So to be able to give back, you kind of have to hold it.
Yeah. And so I isolate myself a lot more these days because I need to save it. I need to preserve it.
You are speaking so many truths that it's like when you get a voice note from someone and they're making such great points, you have to go into your notes app and start making, you ever do that? I have to make like little topic points because there's so many things I want to say in response to that. Busking. 2 questions. Number 1, while you're busking and you can see people who have no expectation of who you are, they have no expectation of running into you, could you understand right then and there and observing people's being taken aback by you? Did you see that? I mean, I have to imagine someone walks by you while you're playing, whether they know you or not, and they probably don't. They hear what's coming out of your voice and they hear what your music is. Could you see even then and there that you had an effect on people?
Well, at a very young age, I've known that I have this effect on people. Not necessarily like in a sense where I'm like, oh, I have this gift or whatever, but just more.
It's a gift. It's a gift. And the gift is the best way to look at it because it externalizes you from it, so there's no arrogance.
Yeah.
You just have the gift. Yeah.
Thank you. I just saw that I can help pull out of people. It's almost like therapy. I can like help pull out of people what they're wanting to share.
But you're also getting the sense you're good, right? I mean, this is the question everyone has. They think they're good. Their friends have said they're good. Colleagues have said they're good. But you're now on a street corner or in a train station. You right then and there can figure out whether other people are struck by what you're doing. But I guess I'm asking, that must have given you a lot of confidence. I have to imagine. Yeah. You're kind of a ringer. You being there, that sound coming out of you. I guess it must have been very encouraging for you to see people go, huh? And the second question, because this I think leads perfectly to that, how much money do you take home on a good day of busking?
Well, for me, I actually really enjoyed Seattle more in a sense where it's calmer and there's not as much competition of like just other buskers who are trying to just fight for a spot.
Is there busker politics? Is there? Yeah.
In Seattle, it was like everyone got an hour. Like there would be a piece of paper up on the wall and you'd come in and you'd sign up. and then everyone gets an hour to play, and then you pack up and you leave, and then the other performers come in.
So busking in and of itself seems like a completely raw, earthy thing, but there are still permits and ledgers and rosters you have to kind of. Wow.
Yeah. I know we're people. We have a system. We got to be take away the animalistic qualities that we have.
But I know that you would probably. Is there less nerves being in a place where people understand there's busking there? Would it be really uncomfortable to stand and play in a Circle K parking lot knowing that that's not where busking happens? Or could you have done that, and have you done that?
I have totally done that. And whenever, because I'd go up to Port Townsend a lot, and I would just go to the co-op. And I'd busk outside of the co-op because I'm trying to get the organic goods, you know?
Yes,
Sometimes people just be like, here, you take a strawberry.
Sometimes you play for plantains.
That's right.
Yeah. That's got to take a lot of nerve to go, I'm just going to start playing. I'm just going to take out my guitar and start playing.
I feel like whenever you feel like you have nothing to lose, then why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you picked up things to lose since, or do you still feel that sense of like risk it all every time?
I feel like since I'm becoming to be more under a microscope, it does in a sense feel like there's more pressure. Like I used to just love myself more than like the way I am, but I find myself being in such an environment where people are like judging you on how you look, or just like taking pictures of you, and then you're like, oh, I really don't like the way I look in that angle. And you know, it's just it's easier like whenever you're in a Hollywood sort of mindset to become different.
I know. But you also are known, I believe you have the greatest Instagram presence via photos of any artist in the world. I don't think that I could be proven wrong if people showed me other Instagram accounts. For those who don't know, Sierra's Instagram photos of her live shows are as much an art installation as they are a live concert photo, and not in a way where one eats the other. It reminds me of Robert Wilson, who was this photographer, but also this stage artist who would only stage things to take photos of them. So there would be stage events, but I think it was just to photograph. And they're just gorgeous, and they're highly manicured, but in an honest, beautiful, artful way. Is having control over that a way of saving some of that autonomy for yourself? Is there a defense mechanism in there that I'll do the work of creating the image so that other people don't do it for me incorrectly?
Well, I think that, you know, I've always been a very theatrical person.
Okay.
And I'm super dramatic.
Okay.
And a lot of my passion in that shines through like with my music. And like whenever I feel very confident and I'm myself, I can put on a better show because I'm like really in it. And it takes a village. Like, you know, I have a lot of people that help me be where I'm at. Like my friend Sean, he makes like the production on stage, and he does like, you know, I want to keep it raw too. Like I like kabukis, like backdrops and stuff, like the old timey ways, like pay homage to that. And my good friend Hot Dog, she takes a lot of pictures and videos, and for a while she was like helping me like run my Instagram and just kind of keep it like on this path.
Your good friend's name is Hot Dog.
Yeah, well, her name's.
That's great. That's a lust for life that I don't have. I don't have a friend named Hot Dog. That is. Everything about you is cool, including...
There's still time.
There's still time to pick up someone. I don't have people with nicknames around me, but that's so cool. What's her real name?
Bobby.
Where does Hot Dog come from?
She comes from...
That's a literal dog whistle to Hot Dog.
Well, we all have like little whistles. We all have little whistles in my gang.
Come on, I'm not living enough. I go out with my crew and we're on our phones.
But you have watches.
Get where we're going. I have watches. Yeah, that's actually one way in which I... that's the carrot I dangle in front of myself. Even if it's just like I can throw on a nice watch that day. If I'm on tour, I'll throw something nice on, and that's how I feel pretty good.
Well, let's observe your watch for a second.
Well, I did this for you because I know you like turquoise.
I do love turquoise.
And this is a turquoise dial, Audemars Piguet. You know, I'm trying to corrupt you.
I mean,
I'm trying to.
I've been trying to let you.
Well, I'm trying to get you to be materialistic. Nothing would make me happier if everyone else was materialistic and I didn't feel so out of place.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw you a bone and let you know that, you know, I have been dropping some pretty pennies on some jewelry.
Let's talk about it. What is the most frivolous thing you've bought since your success? Frivolous in a way meaning It's non-discretionary. It's it's a treat. What's the biggest thing you've bought so far?
Well, first off, I got dental work done because I needed it and I can afford it now. And they, each mineral and fabrics from the earth have a frequency. And so gold is known to help with anxiety and depression. And so now I have a couple gold teeth in my mouth.
Do you feel anything markedly different?
I definitely feel shinier.
There you go. That stuff can't hurt. I've been given quartz before, and they say that having quartz in your house is a source of energy. And I go, what's the downside of thinking that? There is no downside.
Well, here's a little zinger. So in our hair and nails, there's a thing called silica, and quartz crystals have silica in them. So therefore, I feel like that means we're wizards,
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I mean, that's the whole thrust of this experience. I was doing some spring cleaning this past weekend, and I came upon some smaller crystals, the kind of crystals that like crystal salespeople come by and you get like it looks like a little Washington Monument. Is there a name for that? They're just a tiny little tower of a crystal.
Yeah.
And I didn't need them. And I thought that I would throw them away, but I didn't want to because I don't know the rules of crystals. Is it bad to throw a crystal away? And how do I properly dispose of a crystal if I don't want it in my house?
I feel like there's not a wrong way to throw them away, but I feel like you should give them to a friend.
Give them to a friend.
Like if you don't want them, just give them to someone who appreciates them.
Got it. Okay, good. So I want to know, the Gems on VHS clip goes viral. How does your life change over that when it goes viral? What changes in your life?
I feel like whenever it went viral, that I guess I got more noticed by people who have their hands in the industry, who can help get my music to the masses.
And that was pretty much a straight shot to making records on a label?
Everything, it's a hot air balloon ride, not a rocket launch.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's also good to have that mentality because I feel like once you're in the industry, they're always like, strike while the iron's hot.
I know. It's funny you say that. At its best, it should be a hot air balloon ride. I had a hot air balloon ride most of my career. The rocket rides where I say like you pull G-forces on your face, those are tough.
And the body keeps the score. Like, this is from stress.
I know. What is that exactly? You were showing me a breakout on your skin?
Yeah, it's like
eczema.
It's like an eczema, but it's every time I have very stressful experiences on the road in the past 5 years, I get this rash. Wow. And so I know it's definitely connected to that, and my eye will twitch.
Is that your body's way of telling you to make a change, or do you listen to it and make changes, or do you have to kind of keep rolling with the punches no matter what?
It's hard to like also make a change when you said yes to something a year ago.
Yeah. Listen. What you just said is the cross to bear for me and so many other musicians. I said yes to things down the line. I said yes a few months ago to things that are coming up in the future months, and I have to make good on those things. It's not that I don't want to do them, but I'm not sure that when the moment comes, it will be a natural event for me to want to go play. And I get the sense that as artists, there are so many versions of ourselves, especially one chronologically, where Sierra in March said yes to things Sierra in July has to do.
100%.
And you just have to do them. And you just have to do it. But
I feel like as a musician, it's like we feel like it's our duty. It's like it's hard to explain.
This is a beautiful subject to talk about because artists are not heard talking about this. One thing I've never been concerned about is people thinking I'm complaining. I love the job. We love the job.
Yeah.
It's got ups and downs. We're not complainers. But I don't have that part figured out when it comes to gratitude of having a gift and the beautiful feeling of expressing it and getting to use it. People don't know that when you have a talent, it's like having a fighter jet. And when you get to use it, it's like you get to fly in the fighter jet. And if you're not using it, you're just a fighter jet pilot who's just drinking at a bar. Like you're just not using the machine for what you know it could be used for. And that's a form of stress, right? Like I could be playing, and how am I acknowledging or appreciating the gift right now? I, most of the time, would rather not play on any one night. Does this make any sense? Like,
Yeah.
we almost have to be told to do it because it's highly unnatural to say in March that you'll want to play in September. Well, I don't know if I'll want to play in September. And so you have to
Exactly.
make yourself go into that, and you just hope that by the time you take the stage, that's when you would have wanted to play anyway. So it's very cathartic to hear you say that. But you tour a lot.
Yeah.
So this means, how have you learned to make peace with that? Because you tour a lot.
Well, first off, again, this is the time thing that you were talking about. It's like we consistently and constantly are having to live in the future.
Yeah.
And that's not right or fair. And second off, like I think, like, we were talking about how artists don't talk about this enough, or when they do, they're not being heard. That I think that, if you think about it, the people who are projecting us into that sort of realm of having to tour a lot, they should be finding systems for us to have like a moment to like breathe, and like they need to have like a good like health system for us to like talk to people about it. And
When you're on tour.
yeah,
I just thought of a good metaphor
tell
for
me.
people to understand, and maybe you agree, you don't agree. I'd love to know if you do. What it feels like to book a tour. It feels like someone saying to you, Monday morning, September 21st, you're gonna have sex, and you go, well, I can't really visualize that right now. I guess so. Yeah, I'll have sex on Monday morning,
Yeah.
July 21st or what, September 21st. And then as the day starts to get closer, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to. And everyone's like, you're going to get horny. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? You're going to get horny. But there is this strange, performance anxiety. And for me, it's not what's going to happen on stage. I think you're like me. When you get on stage, you got it under control, right?
I'm ready. Sometimes getting to stage, I might throw up, I might be shaking,
Yeah.
I might cry, but then
Yeah.
But then once I'm on the stage, it's like I'm this whole other thing, and I'm like, I'm here.
That part's easy. Why would you cry? Give me a reason you would cry before you went on stage.
Because my body doesn't feel like being looked at by a bunch of people who are carrying their energy.
Yeah.
Again, this goes to an energy thing. We're salt batteries.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Salt batter.
we're salt batteries.
You know, you have an indisputable take on this stuff because it just makes so much sense the way that you say it. So what are some tricks and tips you've learned on the road that help mitigate those feelings?
Well, I go to sauna a lot, and I cold plunge often, and I've been meditating.
Great.
And sometimes that's still not enough because it's like it's an energy exchange. Like you're doing a lot of energy exchange. Even looking someone in the eye, energy exchange. Somebody touches you and like hugs you, energy exchange. And it's just like also learning how to navigate that in a world that's teaching you none of this stuff.
I know. And is it getting, I suppose on one hand it's getting harder because more people are recognizing you. You're also having more experience with it. Does it get easier? Are you able to give less? Not that you're giving people less of yourself, but learning how to not spend more energy on giving. There is a way to meet somebody and not give up so much. Are you into this? Are you getting better at these interactions with people?
I am getting better in a sense. You know, it's like, here's a good example. It's like you can rub a spot for a long time, and then eventually, like, you're just rubbed so raw that it gets easy to get angry, even though the person that you're getting angry at doesn't deserve it.
That's right.
And it's like you're being also rewired in a way that you have to unlearn.
Yeah. Well, unlearn it and then have to learn it again.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because there's home Sierra and then there's tour Sierra.
That's what I want to talk about. Home Sierra and tour Sierra. I see people go on tour and they seem to be home on tour. And I'm so jealous of it. I'm so jealous. They have their the nicknames and their boys and the things they do and they go out. I mean, when I see someone in Australia and they're petting a koala, I go, well, that's how you do it. I would just be in the hotel room. Like people who, right? You're a hotel room dweller?
Well, it's preserving your energy.
That's precisely right. So I think it's really but your band and crew, they go out.
Oh, absolutely.
And you are just kind of healing up on the off day. Yes. I think this is beautiful, and I think we're the perfect two people to have this conversation, because this can be a very fraught conversation when it comes to fans overhearing artists talk about the challenges of tour, because we are paid to figure this stuff out. That's my new saying. I don't get paid to play. I get paid to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. To
come back from Sphere after playing, I don't know what it was. What was it? Like 8 weekends over 3 months. I'm getting it wrong, but I'm somewhere there. 8 weekends over, I don't know, 6 weekends over 3 months. I think
time.
What it was. What is time? What is time? And I would come home, and I would go from feeling so useful and so purposeful to being so useless and purposeless. And I would say to myself, you just played 4 days ago. And now I'm moping around the house going, I serve no purpose in this world. Does this happen to you, or can you live off of stored experience?
Well, it's not healthy for your nervous system.
No, it's not.
It's like you're in front of all these people and you're high on this dopamine from like this beautiful experience that you're sharing with thousands and thousands of people. And then like you're off stage and then you're in a quiet green room and you're just like, I feel crazy.
Yeah. I got good. I think you'll get better at dumping all of that after the show. How soon after a show could you fall asleep? Let's say that
It's hard.
Really?
It can be hard.
What's going through your mind when you get back to your room and you want to go to sleep but you can't?
Well, first off, I think the mentality can be different between a man and a woman. Because, I feel like women crave family and protection and shelter. Not that men don't.
I just go back to my room and play with dinosaurs.
I love that.
Yeah. No, I know. I as I get older, though, I have more estrogen as I get older. I'm 47, and I'm crying at things I think more women are crying at on Instagram than men. And you know what I just thought of the other night, and it made me cry.
It's all chemicals. It's all chemicals at the end of the day.
I'm not taking umbrage with what you said, because I think you're right. But I was thinking about having the notion of having kids, and that when it comes to the best moments of having kids, the revolution will not be televised. It won't be on Instagram. It won't be anywhere else except in just everyone's eyes and everyone's real-time experience of having a 14-year-old, among other kids, but you have a 14-year-old son who invites 5 other 14-year-olds to your house on a Friday night, and they're all hanging out. And one of them is hilariously funny. And the other one is just kind of weird and like kind of rummaging through the pantry. And they're making each other laugh, and stuff's on TV, and now they're having a pillow fight, or they're having a bottle flipping challenge. And you're like, you can't film this. You can't hold on to this. This is just where it's going down. And we've always had these moments that are structured for us. They're set up. Our moments exist on other people's Google calendars. And I just had this feeling of like the moments you can't really explain or plan for, where you just have a bunch of kids over your house and you know them and you know their personalities and they're having fun, and you're like, this is the best Friday night ever. I'm in the kitchen, they're dicking around in the house, and this is better than any tour I've ever been on. I can just feel it coming out. Does that sound anything like the female experience, or is that still a male experience?
No, that definitely. I mean, I think, at the end of the day, everyone craves family.
Yeah.
And, I'm from a place where I don't have a partner. I don't have a family. So I feel like I'm in that stage of my life where I'm really craving that. And it's hard. And, the woman's down a lot longer during having the pregnancy and doing the delivery.
Meaning you couldn't tour or perform?
I couldn't tour. I couldn't tour and also have a family.
That's crazy, because that's 2 worries deep.
Yeah.
Right? The first worry is finding someone. The second worry is what would happen if and when you become pregnant and how that would affect the tour. But you haven't even arrived at the first worry yet.
Yeah.
Which fully explains what it's like to have an off day in Cleveland and staring at the ceiling with all this extra time, or looking out the window talking to your therapist, I have studied the strip malls across from hotels so deeply because I'll be on the phone with my therapist looking out at like Panda Pavilion. I know exactly what it looks like from the Dallas Ritz-Carlton. There's the Mortons. There's a whole, just staring out the window for an hour and 20 minutes. I get an hour and 20 from my therapist because he loves me. Do you have a therapist on the road you call?
I went to this, the simple answer is recently I haven't, but I do have one that I should honestly call more recently. But like I went to actually a therapy camp for like a month in December, and that was very life-changing.
What was happening there?
Well, it's just like, they do a lot of deep diving, and you go and stay there, and you just talk about a lot of stuff that you shouldn't put on your friends, and and that's also another thing is like I think people should ask their friends if they have space for what they are about to say.
I know.
And it's it's easy to dump on our friends and our families, but also we should try to be cautious of that.
I know. And there are moments, and this is the toughest part for me to accept. Sometimes you'll say to yourself, I'm about to have a therapy call. I'm like 10 minutes away from a therapy call. This is going to be like a blood transfusion. This is going to really, really set me straight. And you can hang up from that call and go, that didn't do a goddamn thing. And then you feel a little bit more frustrated because you realize, and this is what I think is really important. And we're not talking about touring anymore. This is not two artists saying that touring is, it's fun to talk about the challenge of touring, but touring is fun and it's got its stuff. This is about moments in life where you realize it's just you.
Yeah.
And there are times where the only way to get better is to eat something good, watch a baseball game, be good to yourself, take a nap. Sweat, you do the sauna. It's very tough sometimes to realize that there's no magic bullet, and it's even harder on the road. So let's look forward. And obviously I know you love when you're playing. As soon as the music starts, you love it.
That's the whole point I'm doing it.
Yeah, you love it.
I love it. It's the whole reason why I do this to myself is because I want to play music and I want to share that with people.
I have the same thing. I really don't want anyone thinking I don't love it. What we're talking about is how we relate to our spouse. And the spouse is the gig.
Yes.
And it's a long relationship. You have had a very long marriage with the music you make. I've had a very long marriage. So I just want to reframe this a little bit. That these are not two artists who have it really good talking about how tough it is. This is about two artists talking about how we make our marriages work. That marriages take a lot of work. And there is a relationship we have with what we do. Not just with the music, but wanting the musicians we play with to do well and not taking food off their table by not going out on tour. Do you ever feel those pressures?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big nurturer. Like, I love to nurture the people around me, and especially the ones that I love. And I've grown to really love my bandmates, and I knew them before they were even in my band in Nashville, and also just finding out the puzzle pieces to make tour keep going.
I know.
And give a shout out to Shaky Graves to taking me out on tour to one of the, he kind of like showed me what I needed to keep going.
What was the best advice you got from Shaky Graves about this all?
It was more of an observation of just like, you were talking about things about how we have to also be patient and like know that things will fall into place. Trust the process. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of it with him was an observation, being like, oh, well, he's got these people doing this. Okay, no, I need that.
Those are real words. Nothing hits harder than meeting another musician or person in the entertainment field who has more assistance or more help than you. And you just start going, I need 4 more people.
Yeah.
I know.
I realize how understaffed I am when I'm around all
too.
these other people, and I'm just like, God, no wonder.
I am too. But are you like me? You'd rather directly interface than pass it off to someone else who may not be interfacing the way you want to with someone on your behalf. Do you have to do it because you want to make sure it's got your stamp on it?
I have to do it because I think it'll make things more easy.
Why?
Because we need help out there, and it takes a village.
No. I mean, doing it yourself. You could get other people now. Is there something you don't want to hand off because there's a personal touch you have on things with people?
Okay.
Would it be hard for you to hand it off to 3 other people to have the interactions you have?
Well, at the end of the day, some things won't get done right unless you do it yourself. I know. And that's a hard bullet to swallow.
It takes a while to find a crusher.
Right.
It may have 3 or 4 hires and fires before you find like a crusher. And when you find them, that's not subjective. They stay with the people they work for decades.
Yeah.
For decades. You have to really like quit or die for some of the best people in the world to become available again. Like, let me ask you this question. Is Sierra Ferrell unpoachable when it comes to your band and crew? People cannot steal anyone in your band or crew because they love being on tour with you.
Well, I hope they love being on tour with me.
Has someone ever poached someone on your crew?
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I mean,
means
tomorrow's never promised.
No, it means you're unpoachable. It means people love being on your tour and don't want to go somewhere else. Because definitely at all times, people are being asked to come off your tour and work on their tour.
Well, my bandmates, they're in a band. Like, they're in their own band together. And because, like, they're jammers. Like, they want to hang out and just, like, play music all the time. And, like, they're playing a festival, like, without me. Because I said no, I didn't want to do it.
Who's singing?
It's all of them. They're doing, like...
Oh, cool.
They're doing, like, harmonies. They're called The Sentimental Gentleman.
The Sentimental Gentleman. Oh, my God, that's great to say. Here they are again, the Sentimental Gentleman.
Well, it's funny because of how it came to be, because that's how I'd introduce them. And I was like, and now for the Sentimental Gentleman on stage with me, and I'd introduce them all.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The Human Torch, the Sentimental Gentleman. It's very Ron Burgundy.
I love it.
Where are you now? Are you making a record? Are you in the middle of an album?
Well, it's so funny. Listen, John, like, okay, so I went through, it's been a crazy 6 months, not just for me, but for the world. Yeah. And so there's also so many layers to the stress and anxiety.
Everything you're saying is opening my brain to more things I want. You are reading my fortune. Keep going.
And so like, I'm supposed to be off this month, and I've written half of my album
this month.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm supposed to go home and relax. And then so I get home at June 1st, and I'm just hanging out. And then all of a sudden I'm writing with my friend Zella Day and my friend Bo. And then we wrote like what feels like the next American Dreaming to me.
Whoa, that feels good though. That feels like good news. But, give me the but.
But I'm not giving myself permission to rest. It's like, it's almost like once you turn it on, it's like from where I've been rewired in such a way. And also, in general, we're kind of raised to be like, if you're laying down resting, you're being worthless and you're not doing the thing.
You're rocking my world. You are right on the GPS of this all. Your blue dot is over my blue dot right now. Let me see if I got this right. The areas of your brain that you reside in when you write music are areas you would like to do other. They take you to a place that are sometimes not the most balanced, healthy, strong, solid, adult, have your shit together kind of parts of you, and you'd like to go there. You'd like to get your affairs in order, but the music calls and you go back to the more amorphous, kind of gelatinous version of yourself to get those songs. And that's a bittersweet thing, because yes, you're getting songs, but is there something you're selling away to get back to that songwriter part of you that you would like to be away from to live your life a little more?
Well, first off, we all deserve peace. And it's also kind of a human condition to kind of glorify the sadness that we live in and like the pain that we go through.
Isn't that songwriting?
But see, that doesn't have to be, but that's just like another way that we've been programmed.
Have you found a way to write songs about your emotions without them spilling over to your sleep or your having breakfast?
Well, breakfast is a state of mind.
Someone is going to steal that and make a breakfast burrito you will see in the frozen food aisle, and it will say, breakfast is a state of mind.
Well, it's like, the American breakfast is like really heavy, like bread and sausage. Yeah. But, what if I want to have soup for breakfast?
Have you ever had soup for breakfast?
Definitely have had soup for breakfast.
Then you know what I would call that? It's a breakfast broth.
Oh.
You can have a breakfast cookie. Just put the word breakfast in front of it. We've got breakfast burritos. We've got breakfast everything. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the strangest breakfast something I have done is.
Well, definitely people have done breakfast pizza.
Breakfast
we already
pizza?
know that's a given.
You had breakfast soup. What goes in a breakfast soup?
It could be anything. I really like that like coconut chicken thigh soup.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's really good.
Yes, and that becomes a healthy breakfast soup. There's
That's right.
protein there. Mm-hmm. Warm water. It doesn't warm liquid sort of start your day. It gets you sort of balanced in your gut microbiome.
Microbiome.
Microbiome. That's the tiny little world inside your gut. The microbiome is like Atlantis inside your stomach. And the mer people, well, those are your enzymes. So you're having soup for breakfast. But so have you found a way to effectively write very all-enveloping emotional music without it consuming other parts of you in your day-to-day life?
I feel like a lot of my music comes from my experiences, and it's hard. It's like whenever I'm in it and I believe it and I'm telling my truth. And first off, if a song gives me goosebumps, I know that it's going to go over well because I'm feeling it. And if a song gives me goosebumps and makes me cry, I might win a Grammy.
That's great. I know what you're talking about. And the songs you won Grammys for gave you that feeling.
Yes.
So you can now draw a 1-to-1 correlation. The ones that gave me goosebumps and made me cry, they won Grammys.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. While you're writing a song, aren't you obsessed with it until it's done?
I feel like sometimes recently in the ones that I've done, I've finished them in like one setting. I guess hopefully I'm getting better. That's the goal. Like, just like becoming, like you were saying earlier, we're like a machine.
I'm trying to get my reps in. I'm getting better now. I'm writing faster and better. So I'm getting my reps in. But what I'm finding, I'm working on 2 songs at the same time right now, and they're good.
I'm excited.
They're good. Finally, I have broken this curse I put on myself where I said it was over for me. And I've done that every time I've made an album, but as I get older, I believe it more because I have this sense that, well, it should be over. I'm a little psyched out by my age.
Don't say that.
I'm psyched out by the numerology of my age to some degree.
Remember, we don't do birthdays.
I know, but
birthdays don't exist.
But what I'm learning is that birthdays don't exist.
They don't exist.
Are you a big birthday girl?
No.
You don't have parties.
In the past, I would be like, "It's my birthday."
You've never done. Sierra Ferrell has never done birthday week.
I've done birthday month.
You've done a birthday month.
But I mean, I'm definitely. I want to think that I'm getting younger.
Creatively.
But spiritually, I feel like I'll always be young at heart, and that's something that I think that will never be taken from me.
Somewhere in your 40s, you will see things done by people you don't recognize, and you will not understand it. And your first reaction will be, this is fucking stupid. And upon closer inspection, you will realize it is not stupid. You just broke the tether with the kind of connection that you had to all things in the world. Everybody believes they're going to ride the wave forever and just understand what's being made. And your 30s tricks you because your 30s makes you think you're going to be the coolest person forever. But things happen in short periods of time in your 40s where you go, I don't get it, and I recuse myself from giving an opinion on it because I have become an old man just watering his lawn, looking at other things and shaking my fist at it. And the way I stay young is I recuse myself. I go, I don't have an opinion about that. The greatest thing you could say in your 40s is, that's not for me. Let them have it. That's not for me.
And it's honestly, I feel like it's hard for people to admit that, to even say that, like, that's not for me.
You have to, or else, we grew up, my generation, your generation, I'm sure, grew up thumbing our noses at older people, our parents, our grandparents, who didn't get it. And we were like, I'm always going to get it. And you're not always going to get it, but the in-between those two things is knowing you don't get it, allowing it to exist without you taking a laser pointer to it and saying, long may you run, whatever it is you're doing, So what I'm dealing with now is that the places that I've worked so hard to get to in my brain, adulthood, maturity, I'm great at having phone calls. I could call anybody. I could call CEOs and ask for a favor. Do you know how mature you have to be to call the head of Disney and ask for a favor. I could have never done that in my 20s. So how deep into? So now you wrote how many songs?
1, 2, 3, 5.
5 songs, and you like them all.
I love them.
Does this make you want to write 5 more and 7 more and call it a day and put a record out?
Well, I've been giving myself some grace and just being able. I feel like it's hard for an artist to just exist. Sometimes it's like we're either working at our craft, with songwriting, or we're touring. At least that's where I'm at in my career, because I'm touring to build the machine, to buy better pieces, to make the machine run more smoothly.
But what's so crazy about that is, and I get it, if all goes well, you'll be touring more.
Well, hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be touring less for more.
I got it. You want to play bigger rooms?
I don't know. I don't even necessarily know if that's what I want. Because honestly, genuinely, I love playing smaller rooms.
But you've also done really big stadium. You just opened for Post Malone in stadiums, and you were opening for Zach Bryan, where I saw you and was absolutely knocked out, in arenas. Is there something you're getting out of playing these large rooms that's trickling down to your ambitions?
Well, in this last run on a stadium tour with Post, it did. He's got like a little catwalk.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, and in the beginning, I was out for about a month. In the beginning of it, I wouldn't even go out there. But then about a weekend, I was like, okay, maybe I'll dip my toes in. And so I started going out there a little bit.
Maggie Rogers said the same thing about the catwalk with Coldplay, and that she finally embraced it and went out there and loved it, being out there on the catwalk.
It's like training,
Yeah. Do you come off those tours and go, I would like to play stadiums? Does it make you more ambitious?
I feel like, they have a huge, Post and Zach Bryan, they have huge followings. I'm not saying that I don't, but it's especially Post, he's been around for a really long time. So he's got people there singing his songs, and I think it is really beautiful and charming, and he had great fans. Great fans.
He's my favorite musical celebrity in terms of how he has positioned himself as a very big star, but also being very current and modern about what to do that is important and what not to do that is unimportant. I believe he is he's the rock star for our times.
100%.
He's only working the part that's important and not working any of the parts that aren't. And you see other people keep working to make it in some kind of a mainstream way, only to find out, which I know ahead of time, there's nothing really at that party. There's nothing at that party anymore. And the party's your party, wherever your party is. And so you won't even know that Post Malone is playing in your city until there's traffic. And then they do the traffic report and they say, don't take this bridge. Post Malone is playing the Megadome. And you realize the new version of fame is doing only what it takes to fill that stadium or that arena and nothing else, because we've all learned that the extra layer is just, you're going to have to pay it down with stuff you don't want to do. You're going to be caught up in this net. You play the gig, go home. And he does it in this way that's great. But you seem that way too. You play the gig and you go home. You want more people in front of you. You want more people in front of you? Or could you play for the same number of people, you just want a bigger check? Theoretically.
Well, first off, I want to say what an entertainer Post is.
He's the best.
And it's he's doing 2-hour shows, and just watching him, and it's so inspirational in a lot of ways. I was like, wow, he's really out here doing it. And he doesn't really party that much, which I tip the hat to that, because I feel like that is so romanticized and glorified sometimes.
But he's also always drinking a beer.
Okay, yeah, he'll have a few beers.
So
not liquor.
Okay, so when we see him drinking a beer, we only see him when he's drinking a beer, but he is not drinking a beer all the time.
Yeah, and he's also really relatable in a sense,
best.
And he's very friendly and kind, and he makes sure that you're doing well. At least in my experience on tour, he's got he's just surrounded by good people.
What's one thing you left the Post Malone tour saying, I'd like to do that too? If anything, he had a guy doing this or some system of working that you go, I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to apply that.
Pyro.
Do you want some pyro?
Maybe just like for a tour. That
What
would be
song
cool.
would get the pyro?
I guess I gotta write that song.
How, have you manifested your success, do you think?
Absolutely.
But you're also hardworking.
I am hardworking. It's a balance.
Yeah. A lot of people think manifesting is just thinking about it and not getting off the couch.
Well, and it's also like leaving room for magic. It's just like if you fill your schedule up all the time, every single day, you're not leaving space for the actual magic to happen, to come into place. Like me even being here for this week, I was just supposed to be here to come hang out with La Lume and do some more writing with them and go to their show. And now I'm here talking to you. And I'm going to this comedy show tonight, Nick Thune's show.
We love Nick Thune and his kimonos, as I told you.
Yeah.
Where's that tonight?
I think it's the Wilt.
The
No,
Wilt?
no, the Wiltern is actually where La Lume's playing, but it's like Rogers.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
Rogers?
I didn't know if it was a comedy club or not. Okay, sorry. Are you a fish out of water in LA, or is there a part of you that knows exactly how to enjoy LA and you just live the dream out here?
I feel like it's been an experience in every places because it's easy to see the pros and cons. Well, it's easy to see the cons sometimes, but it's like I feel like every time I come back to LA, I love it a little bit more.
I love it. You like New York?
I love it a little bit more. I just did a song with Joe Jonas, and I spent some time in Brooklyn.
I just spent time in Brooklyn.
I love Brooklyn.
Last week, I lost my mind. Brooklyn is the dreamiest place in the United States of America. Brooklyn.
So passionate. I love that.
I'm in love with Brooklyn. Is there something about the lean days that you miss?
About the simple times?
The vans, the busking.
Well, whenever I lived in my van, I'm like the most introverted, extroverted person you'll meet,
Same thing.
It's like when I lived in my van, it's hard to explain this even to like my management and crew and just I got to decide when I wanted to leave my van to be around people. And so it's like I was more truly myself being able to live in my van because I got to isolate myself as much as I wanted.
Wow. Is there a way of taking that logic and superimposing it over the way you tour now and finding a way to get closer to that feeling in your nervous system that when you go on stage, it is your choice?
Well, my choice is always wanting to be able to show up for people. And I think that that's also maybe a traumatic thing, like maybe some trauma that I need to like work through is like, I don't like to fail people.
Fear of disappointing
Fear of
others.
disappointing.
I have it terribly, the fear of disappointing others. I want to make everyone happy by saying yes. Okay, let me pitch you this. You're playing the same shows that you have and will, but you are completely protected and in your own safe, comfortable space until the moment you take the stage. Does that fix it?
I feel like sometimes I just can't contain the way I feel. I can't control it. So it's like whenever I'm in it's like more of a feeling. It's like, oh, I'm about to like have a breakdown. I could feel it. And then I'm trying to mask. I feel like I'm masking myself so much of who I truly am sometimes.
Because you have to go on stage?
Not because I have to go on stage.
Just at random times?
Just like, it's hard to explain.
Okay.
But it's like, it's more like, I just feel like I'm not getting the isolation I need.
Okay, so let me just pitch you. This feels weirdly important because I relate, and I also think this is a very interesting investigation on a lot of levels. So imagine this with me. You're on tour, but you have a way of doing it where you stay in your hotel room, in your space. Hotel rooms are okay, right? You can rest and recuperate in a hotel room.
I like lay for a whole day sometimes in a hotel room.
But what if you could also lay in your hotel room on show day? Could you look at the clock and see that it's 4:30 and see that the band is sound checking for you?
Yeah.
You're going to be fine. You have just a crack monitor engineer who knows exactly how to get it.
Scoot.
Another great name. Another great name in your employ. Is any of this starting to feel good, even just imagining? Maybe you go to dinner, you go to a nice dinner, you sit with people that you love. Could you then go to the venue and you have 30 minutes before you take the stage. How long does it take, Sierra Ferrell, to get into the look and the clothes to be able to take the stage?
Well, I found the sweet spot for me is actually about 2 weeks of touring and then having an extensional amount of time off, like maybe 3 weeks afterwards. But I still haven't really reached that correct. Like every year I'm like 2 weeks, guys. And then the next year I'm like 2 weeks, guys.
And people just keep putting more dates
Well, they just keep putting it in front of me, even though they know it's going to crush me.
I know. It happened to me. You will at some point.
I'm getting better at setting boundaries. Boundaries is like huge.
Can I be honest with you? Something's going to happen at some point where they're going to get the message.
Well, it's like the whole point.
That ain't it. It'll be someday. You just won't be there.
Exactly.
You just won't be there someday.
I just won't show up.
And it'll be okay when you do.
Thank you.
And it'll be okay. And it'll say food poisoning, and I'll go. You'll text me and you'll go, I'm in Tibet.
I'm in Tibet. I love that you said Tibet. I love that.
And I'll say, I got you. I understand. And then, and only then, will your management say, we got it. They should get it now. They're hyped up. You are you. And they love you. Your managers love you.
Yeah.
They truly do. But they don't understand what it's like to be you. They don't understand what it's like to be me. I have management now that is so freeing. And I'm not saying you should change managers, but it's a hard thing when you're a color in a calendar.
That's right.
It's a hard thing.
And you're a check.
Yeah, but I even don't believe they even look at that. I think you are a natural, I want to choose my words correctly. It is not wrong of people to become fully invested in the joy of growing an artist's career. They should not be expected and can't be expected to understand viscerally what that's like to be you the whole time. But at some point, something will happen and they will go, got it. It's 2 weeks or you don't do it anymore. We understand. On that stage, when the music starts, it's all about the music.
It's all about the music and the fans.
That's right. And I think, and I would like to believe that anyone listening who's gone to our shows can safely listen to this and enjoy the insight and not get defensive about it as if we're saying we hate. When you see us on stage playing and singing, you are seeing us loving it. What you don't see is us backstage on the couch and someone saying you have 45 more minutes, and you think to yourself in a part of your brain that's not very rational, maybe the power will go out.
Maybe I can go get dinner at that beautiful restaurant around the corner I got to see, but I'm not here long enough to even enjoy.
And you know what that is? In a lot of cases, it's stage fright. You're so good at what you do. And I've said this before on this show. You're so good at what you do. You're not going to worry about whether you can do it. Not whether you can sing or you can play. You're going to play. You're going to sing. It's going to be magic. But the brain has to worry about certain things. I have that same thing. When I get up there, I'm just going to unfold that and it's going to work. So something about moving into that phase of myself is a tricky transition. And then once I'm up there, it's great. The feeling you have before you go on stage, if you could put into words, because it's probably not into words, but if you could make it say something, what is that feeling saying to you when they say go for house lights?
So that feeling saying to me when it's time to go on stage is, I really hope I give a good message.
Wow. Have you ever not?
Well, I just feel like I'm in this position and I have such a platform that I want to help people realize how beautiful and magic they are. Because like in a world where we wake up and we're so hard on ourselves, I remind people to like do affirmations, and like I remind people to pray, because praying is so powerful. Again, we're wizards again,
Yeah.
And I just like want people to realize how much power they have, and that everyone's special, and it's like, and not to worship me, but to love me, because I'm not a god.
I think you are beloved. I think you are, in the parlance of my long gone time, you are the real deal. My last question, I suppose, is when I listen to your music, I am transported to this world. It is the kind of music that when you listen to, you know you are in the presence of something that's making you feel great. And it's authentically done, but it's also has this kind of fantastical world to it. I feel as if when I'm listening to your album, I'm in these places I may or may not have ever been. When you're making these songs in the studio and when you're performing them live, are you thinking about places you've been, or have you created for yourself a second world to play in just as much as it's a second world for me to listen to?
I feel like it's in some ways a sanctuary for me.
So not all these things are your own experiences. It's a magical world for you as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
You are so good at creating this world. And I also want to say, on a musical level, your alchemy of taking different styles. If you were just bluegrass, if you were just Americana, if you were just roots, you wouldn't be where you are. And, you know, it's almost as if you found this crossover between this heritage music and the language and the DNA of pop music. Because I was listening to your album on the way here. And there is something very similar when you get into the non-verbal chant, right? You get into the whoa, 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 whoa. That's actually very pop.
You gave me goosebumps when you did that.
Oh, what's that?
You have a good voice.
But, you know, have you ever thought that you're mixing so much of this uncut, pure substance of roots, Americana, bluegrass, folk, calypso. Sometimes I hear island music.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about pop a little bit. Does it all
I
move
do
through the filter of pop?
I feel like, well, pop music is also a state of mind because pop music is what's popular.
Right.
And popularity of things shift over time. And I think that a lot of that stuff is, I picked up a lot from traveling, from being a transient train hopper or like hitchhiking. And a lot of the buskers and just the places that I've went, there's like a lot of people that play different styles of music. Yeah. And you can hear that in my music.
Sure can. And then something else, which is this other way you've built a world using these different bricks.
And I've also just like, I never really wanted to be where, like, I guess the word would be famous. And and that's where I feel like I get my true authentic self because I never wanted to be here. I just wanted to share my music and be loved.
But you seem to be having a good time with the results.
I'm definitely having a good time, but I also like, I don't need much to live because I've lived without much. Wow. You know, so I think that that's also a game that a lot of people fall into in my position where they're just like, oh well, I have all this, and then like, you know, I don't need the house, I don't need the car. Right. Like I want the garden, I want flowers, I want a labyrinth, like I want things that are going to bring joy to me. And I love this phrase, someone said, to plant a garden is to believe in the future.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love that.
So we've got two different ways of looking at the future. One of them is that you're planting a flower and you can't wait for it to bloom. Mm-hmm. And the other one is you say, yes, you'll do a 6-day festival run in September. No. And how do we get both of those things to feel like things that blossom?
I think moderation. I feel like I have been just so go, go, go. This year, I will say that there has been, you know, I had some months off. Mm-hmm. And that's been great. But again, my nervous system is so wired in a way that I think that I'm going to need like a year or like an extended amount of time to where I can just relax and let my nervous system breathe. Is
there any part of you that says, I better get a record out now to capitalize on the momentum?
There's a part of me that says I better get a record out now because I only have one more record left with this record label.
Got it. No, say no more. Say no more. Wow. There was one more thing I was going to say that was so good. It was fucking great. And I can't remember what it is. I need that ring.
I can get you one made. You got to send me your finger, Taz.
I think I'm a 10.
A 10?
I don't remember. But you are just on this... Everything you're doing is just so dialed into something real. This is what I was going to say. They say to make hay while the sun shines, but the sun is going to be over your head for a long, long time. Don't worry about making hay. You can make hay anytime you want because you are your own sun. I believe it. I know it sounds crazy. Make hay while the sun shines is said by people who aren't sure that what they have will be theirs forever. And what you have will be there forever. I can hear it. Every one of your fans can hear it. Therefore, maybe pull away from the idea that you should make hay while the sun shines, because I think you live on one of the poles of the earth where the sun doesn't go down.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Blow that whistle for me. Sierra Ferrell, thank you for being on How's Life. I've wanted to talk to you on this show for a long time, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.